Hey, what's up, guys? This is Two-Way Enthusiast. Most of you are gun people if you're watching my station, and you're also probably conservative-leaning, and if that's the case, you're probably as upset as I am because of what's happened the last few days. Basically, you're probably experiencing sadness for all the children and families in Parkland, and probably just some anger and amazement at how liberals basically try and blame gun owners. They try and blame the Constitution. They try and blame Donald Trump for all the things that have been happening lately. And basically, I've been kind of having it out with a lot of people online because they just say things that are ridiculous, and I just have to call them out on stuff. The last couple of days, I've actually probably a day or two, I had to take a break from social media because I just can't stand some of the stupidity that they've been putting out there. Well, if you're dealing with these people, I just have a little advice for you. Liberals love the government. The bigger the government it is, the better it is. Any problem they have can be solved by the government. If you're dealing with an idiot like this, I want you to please point out that the government, represented by the police, were at the shooter's house in Parkland 39 times in 7 years. And in 39 times, nothing happened. I know there was at least a couple of cases of elder abuse there and other problems. Nothing happened. Someone reported the shooter because they said he was making threats on on YouTube, and the FBI said we couldn't find him. I guess they never heard of IP addresses. And the worst case is in January, someone actually reported him, gave all his information to the FBI. That he was armed, that he was talking about shooting up a school, and they did nothing. It wasn't passed to the local office the way it was supposed to. Basically, it's a whole litany of government failures. Now, you got to think, if just one or two of these situations have been handled correctly, let's say the FBI actually did pass the information on correctly, they spoke to him, they checked things out, this whole situation might not have happened. They dropped the ball. Think back to the Sutherland, Texas shooting that occurred in the church. You know, the one where the good guy with the NRA instructor with the AR helped chase off the shooter. In that case, the person who was the shooter had a criminal history when he was in the Air Force. The Air Force failed to submit his record to NICS. If they had done that correctly, he wouldn't have been able to purchase. But because they didn't do this, and they dropped the ball, he was able to purchase and own weapons that he probably shouldn't have under the current laws. So when they're saying it's too easy to buy a gun, Barack Obama famously said it's easier to buy a gun in this country than it is a book. It's all bull. We know it's bull. In some cases, I think that a lot of them are just too stupid to realize it's bull, and I think in the rest of the case, they just want to see people disarmed. Okay? They want the government to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they want to be taken care of and coddled. All of a sudden, individuality is a bad thing, liberty is a bad thing, defending liberty is a bad thing. They just want to rely on the government for anything, for everything that they can possibly have in life. So, please bring up the fact, if someone is looking for more government solutions to shootings and to what they call the gun epidemic, from their lies and their lying statistics, like the 18 alleged school shootings in the first month and a half of 2018. Turns out there's only really one bad one, and I think there might have been two other ones. Ben Shapiro had pointed it out. Point out that they're wrong, and point out that the government that they trust so much dropped the ball. Okay, so really keep on them on that because they dropped the ball. Okay, it's not gun owners, it's not the inanimate objects. First to blame, the shooter. Okay, and then second, throw in there that the government failed. Okay, the FBI wasn't doing their job. The local police officers, and again, in 39 visits, saw nothing wrong. And in the original report of Nicholas Cruz, I guess they weren't able to locate his IP number. Kind of crazy to me. So anyway, just please bring that up when you're talking, because I think the government's shown that they really can't be trusted to do their job. I mean, it's a major failure, and I think it needs to be mentioned and brought up. All right, guys, I just had to vent for a little while. Please feel free to leave any comments you have, share the page if you want to pass it on to some other like-minded, liberty-minded people. Have a good one.